Raw was nonsense and a complete waste of time. On this episode, we literally got only two good matches, zero good promos, zero good backstage segments, and a mid main event. Like, there's not even much to talk about this week. I'm like, this episode was garbage. It was a waste of time, man. Straight nonsense right down the middle from start to finish. But anyhow, though, let's get into what happened on this episode of Raw. It's not exciting at all. So we started off Raw with a Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in-ring promo. So Rhea Ripley just basically challenged Io Sky to a women's championship match at the all-women's premium live event, Evolution. And that's basically what happened. Io Sky cut a pretty good promo, for her standards. I like that they're actually trying to get her to talk more. That's pretty cool, and it seems like she's getting a bit better on the mic, and I'm really happy for her. But anyways, though, Rhea Ripley basically just comes out and then she challenges Io Sky to a women's championship match at Evolution. And I'm like, this really bothered me because I'm like, Rhea Ripley doesn't need to qualify or anything. She doesn't need to earn the championship match. She doesn't need to earn that. Like, she just walks in and demands a match and that's it because she's Rhea Ripley. That's it. I'm like, man, can't someone else get a chance? Like, we couldn't get like another match at Evolution, like another woman versus Io Sky. Like, that would have been fire. Like, why Rhea Ripley? It's always Rhea Ripley, Rhea Ripley, Rhea Ripley, Rhea Ripley. Like, dude, like, how are you going to build other stars if this is the same thing we keep getting in every championship match, every women's championship match? Rhea Ripley versus a champion, Rhea Ripley versus a champion. I'm like, dude. And Rhea Ripley doesn't even have to earn it. Just walk in. I want a match. I want my title. And that's it. It's crazy, man. And I'm getting tired of this nonsense. But whatever, man. After this, though, we got our first match of the night. We only got 4 matches tonight, and only 2 out of the 4 were good. We got our first match of the night. It was a tag team match. Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus The New Day. It was a tag team championship match. This was a really good match, and it was really entertaining, but New Day lost their tag team championship, and New Day's tag team championship reign was booked so atrociously. They literally got the championships, the tag team championships, and they did nothing with the titles. They barely wrestled. They showed up for commentary. They were in like ringside commentary, and they had like silly segments. But besides that, though, they didn't even defend them. They defended them like twice. They barely wrestled in anything, and then you just have them lose it on a random episode of Raw. I'm like, dude, like New Day's booking was atrocious. Like, what? Whose idea was this? Whose choice was this? Like, they just got it. Not even just got it. They got them and didn't do anything with the titles. Like, this is crazy, man. And they just lose it on a random episode of Raw for no reasoning whatsoever that I can think of anyway. Like, they were pretty entertaining with it too, even though they weren't defending it. Like, their segments, their promos and stuff like that was pretty entertaining. Like, where do they go from here? They just look like jobbers, and they just gave it right back to Judgment Day. I'm like the championships are basically just getting hot potatoed nowadays, and it's the championships are losing all importance. Honestly, they just get hot potatoes. It's like, you have the championship, okay, that's long enough. You haven't defended it or anything, but that's long enough. It's someone else's turn for no reason whatsoever. Just hand it off to someone else, and they just keep hot potatoing the championships. And it doesn't matter which championship it is. Every championship is getting hot potatoed right now at the moment, and it's getting silly, man. But anyhow, though, let's get into some highlights in this match. Finn Balor hit a sunset flip roll through dropkick. Kofi Kingston hit a top rope clothesline. JD McDonough hit an X Factor on Xavier Woods. Kofi Kingston hit a flying knee stomp on Finn Balor, which looked pretty cool. JD McDonough hit a springboard moonsault. Finn Balor accidentally and inadvertently hits a coup de grace on JD McDonough, his tag team partner. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods hit the midnight hour on Finn Balor, their tag team finishing move. And Finn Balor kicks out. I think it got broken up by JD or Finn Balor kicked out. I don't remember too well. After that, though, JD hit a pretty cool Spanish fly on Xavier Woods. Finn Balor hit a coup de grace on Xavier Woods for the win. And we got new tag team champions. The Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough are your new Raw tag team champions. And that's how New Day's tag team championship reign ends. Like I said, though, this was a pretty fun match. It was pretty entertaining. And it was like 1 out of the 2 good matches of tonight. But I'm just mad how New Day's title reign just ended like that. And they didn't do anything of importance or of significance with it. That bothered me a lot, honestly. But whatever, though. After this, though, we got a Goldberg video package. They were showing how dominant Goldberg used to be, how dominant he was. And during this whole video package, it was really long, too, for some reason. It was like 5 minutes almost, like 5, 6 minutes, 8 minutes. It was really long. Anyhow, though, during this whole video package, I'm like, dude, this man is like 97 years old. He's one good shoulder tackle away from having a heart attack in the ring. Like, let's move on from this nonsense. No one's excited for this match. No one's excited to see Gunther versus Goldberg. Like, why are we getting this OD long video package about about, oh, Goldberg is dominant. He used to jackhammer, spear. He went through every big man. He went through every powerhouse. He's beaten giants. I'm like, dude, he can't do that anymore. Move on. Like, what are you building at this point? Like, Goldberg doesn't come back like some superhero, some cyborg, and like dominate Gunther or something. Like, come on, man, move on. This man is like 97 years old. Pray he doesn't get chopped by Gunther. He's like 97 years old, man. Like, pray he doesn't get chopped in the chest by Gunther. He's out, I swear. One good chop from Gunther and Goldberg's heart is stopped, you know? Golly. But anyhow, though, we got a video package about Goldberg and how dominant he used to be. And I'm like, man, just get over with this. This was pointless. Just move on. But anyhow, though, after this, though, we got a one-on-one match. It was Sheamus versus Rusev. And let me tell you, fella, this was a banger. As Sheamus would say it anyway, this was a banger of a match. This was really entertaining. I enjoyed this. The two good matches of the night we got was literally the JD McDonough versus the New Day match and the Sheamus versus Rusev match. Those two were the best matches of the night and the only two good matches of the night. But anyhow, let's get into this. Some highlights from this match were that Sheamus hit a power slam on Rusev. Sheamus power slammed Rusev off the apron, and it looked pretty gnarly, and it looked pretty, it looked pretty cool. Sheamus hit a top rope flying knee on Rusev. Rusev hit a spinning heel kick. Rusev hit a superplex off the top rope. Sheamus hit a running knee on Rusev. Rusev hit a Uranagi on Sheamus, which looked pretty dope. Rusev put Sheamus in the Accolade, and I thought Sheamus was going to tap out or pass out, but to my surprise, he didn't. Sheamus just picked up Rusev on his back and slammed him into the turnbuckles. At the end of the match, though, Rusev ended up poking Sheamus in the eye, and then he took off the turnbuckles, protective padding, and then he slammed Sheamus sternum first into the exposed turnbuckle and hit his Machka kick for the. And like I said, this match was pretty entertaining. It was pretty fun. It was hard hitting, Sheamus always puts on bangers. So, I really did enjoy this match. But after this, though, we got a Gunther in-ring promo, and it wasn't as good as last week's or, the last one he did. He wasn't talking about nothing, honestly. So, we started off with Gunther just glazing Goldberg for a bit, saying that Goldberg was dominant. He used to be dominant. Goldberg was a threat. He was the most dominant competitor of his time. And I'm like, man, get on with it. Jesus Christ. But after Gunther finishes glazing Goldberg, Gunther says that, with all that being said, though, he's not afraid of a 58-year-old Goldberg. And I'm like, get your facts right. This man is like 90. Anyhow, though, Gunther says he's not afraid of a 58-year-old Goldberg. He can beat Goldberg in under 3 minutes if he wants to. However, though, at main event, he will take his time beating Goldberg. He will outclass and out-wrestle Goldberg. At main event, Gunther is going to bully Goldberg and treat him like a piece of crap. And that's Gunther's exact words, not mine. I would have said something worse probably, but anyhow, though, that's what Gunther said. Gunther then says, after I beat Goldberg, who's next? Who's going to be my next competitor? And out of nowhere, Seth Rollins comes out, and I thought he was going to acknowledge Gunther, but he didn't. He literally came out during Gunther's promo to talk about CM Punk. I'm like, what, why? And Seth Rollins literally didn't even say anything of substance either. Seth Rollins comes out and he says, at Night of Champions, he wasn't planning on cashing in his money in the big contract. He just wanted to make sure that CM Punk didn't win, and that as long as there's breath in Seth Rollins' lungs, CM Punk will never be champion in the WWE. After Seth Rollins gets through saying all this, CM Punk's music hits, CM Punk comes out, he brawls with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins runs away. After he brawls with Seth Rollins, Gunther gets mad, and he pulls CM Punk's arm to, talk to him, be like, what are you doing? Why are you in my, segment or whatever? To, check him, type of thing. And then CM Punk just shoves Gunther down to the ground and walks out. I'm like, okay. And while Seth Rollins is scurrying off, he's watching this whole altercation in the fans area. And out of nowhere, LA Knight comes out, and then he starts brawling with Seth, and they start brawling into the concession stands area. And we got that little segment. And out of nowhere, I think after this, they confirmed that Seth Rollins hightailed it out of the arena because he's so scared of these two, because he's so terrified of CM Punk and so terrified of LA Knight. He hightailed it onto his private jet, and he's already out of the city, out of the state. I'm like, come on, really? But anyhow, though, after this segment, this whole thing, it was pretty cool, I guess. I don't know, boring, cool. I don't know. It was not. Moving on. After this, though, we got I think our third match of the night. It was Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria, a number one contenders match for the IC championship. And this match, it was announced, and I was kind of excited for it. I'm like, Lyra's good in the ring. Bayley's pretty good in the ring. I thought this was going to be good, but no. This match was complete booty. This match sucked, okay? This match was laughable. This match was atrocious. This match was mediocre. Like and especially the ending too. The match itself was like, nothing too shocking, nothing too amazing, but like it was passable as a match, But the ending completely ruined the whole thing. The ending was stupid and it made zero sense. But anyhow, though, before we talk about the ending of the match, let's just get into what happened during this match. Not even too many highlights either. Some highlights from this match were that Bayley hit a superplex on Lyra Valkyria. Bayley hit a flying elbow off of steel stairs onto Lyra Valkyria. Bayley hit a sunset flip into the turnbuckles on Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria hit a gut wrench powerbomb on Bayley. And after those little spots happen, the match ends in the stupidest way I've ever seen and the match ends in a draw because both women's shoulders were down during the pinfall attempt. Bayley was underneath Lyra Valkyria, and Lyra Valkyria literally just like bridged backwards onto Bayley. Like you see this pinfall in almost any tag team match or any one-on-one match, with one competitor on the bottom and the other competitor on top, and they just like, kind of do the crab move to pin them. And this was literally what we saw. We've seen this spot countless times. People have won this match like that, with that same pinfall countless times. But for some odd reason in this match, though, that doesn't count. This was them having both of their shoulders down. I'm like, that happens every match. It's usually the competitor that's on top who's doing the pinfall. That's how they react to it, and that's how they say it. And that's what usually happens. But this time around, though, both women's shoulders are down. That's how you do the pinfall. That's what the pinfall is. Like, what are you talking? We've seen it done like this countless times. Why is it this time it's a no contest? Why is it this time it's no DQ? And if the referee saw that both women's shoulders were down, why did she keep counting 1, 2, 3 and fixing them or saying, oh, both shoulders are down, I'm not going to keep counting it? Like, this was a stupid way of turning this match, like for the Intercontinental Championship, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This was a stupid way of turning it into a triple threat. If you wanted it to be a triple threat, just book it. Not this stupid ending acting like the fans are idiots or something. Like WWE's rules nowadays with Triple H's booking, like the rules are just so inconsistent. Like things are used to, it's just change. And like for like, WWE's reasons and storytelling wise, they'll throw the whole rules out and make up their own nonsense, make up their own thing. And the fans just have to eat it up. And, it's like, oh, that's the rule, this has always been a pinfall. Not this match. Nope. This is both women's shoulders down. What? This is normally a no DQ. Nope. Not in this match. What? If you hit the ref, it's automatic disqualification. Nope. Not in John Cena's match. Like, come on. Like all the rules we've been accustomed to for over the past couple of years, decades, however long WWE's been around, like as soon as Triple H comes on, like all these rules don't matter anymore. And it's not even just Triple H's era either. Like it used to happen back in the days too. And for convenience, they'll just change the rules and stuff like that. And I don't like have some set rules and keep it like that, man. Have some consistency. Jesus. But anyhow, though, like I said, we've literally seen this type of pinfall countless times. This was silly and stupid. This ruined the whole match. And after this, though, the match was already not good, and it ruined the match for me more on top of that. Anyhow, though, after this match, Bayley and Lyra Valkyrie brawled. And it was a pretty aggressive brawl. And I'm like, y'all used to be friends and stuff. Like, I didn't think, like, where is all this hatred coming out of? But whatever. They had, like, a pretty aggressive brawl. And the brawl was pretty fun, I guess. But the whole match was trash it, wrap it up, throw it away. It was garbage. Moving on. And then we got to her main event. And this was the dumbest main event I've ever seen. Because the show started off with Sami Zayn getting attacked by Karrion Kross. So I thought later in the show, we would have probably seen Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross or something. And it was announced that it was going to be a tag team match. I'm like, okay, Sami Zayn and Penta versus Karrion Kross and somebody else. But it's Sami Zayn and Penta, Penta versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in the main event. I'm like, why is this the main event? Who wants to see this nonsense as a main event? This match wasn't even that interesting, period, to begin with. Like, we've seen this stuff countless times. This same combination of superstars countless times. Why is it now? It's in the main event. No stipulations, nothing on the line, no nothing. This is the main event. Why? This match was boring too at that. Like, dude, this show, I'm telling you, straight nonsense. But anyhow, though, some highlights from this match were that Sami and Penta hit a double suicide dive onto the Bronze. That's what WWE called them. Michael Cole was like, oh, the Bronze. So Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the Bronze. So I'm just sticking with that. Anyhow, though, Sami Zayn and Penta hit a double suicide dive on the Bronze. Sami hit a sunset flip powerbomb onto Reed off the top ropes. Reed hit a Death Valley driver on Sami. Braun Breaker, his signature move where he's on the apron and he hits a flying clothesline onto a competitor, onto like the announcer's table. That thing, he did it. But he hit that on Sami. After that, Penta hit the sacrifice on Braun Breaker where he like basically snaps your arm and it looks gnarly and it looks painful. Braun Breaker absolutely no sells it. He gets hit with the sacrifice and just pops up and power slams Penta with both arms. I'm like, okay. Throw that whole thing out too then. Throw that whole scheme. And the thing that probably bothered me the most about this match was that The Bronze needed the aid of Paul Heyman to get the upper hand. I'm like, these are two big men, big powerhouses, strong men, monsters, as they're portrayed supposedly. And they need Paul Heyman to get the upper hand versus Sami Zayn and Penta. Sami Zayn, who's like 180 pounds soaking wet. Penta, who's like, I don't know, 210 soaking wet at most, maybe. They need Paul Heyman's help to get the upper hand. That's crazy. But anyhow, though, the most annoying thing for me besides that was the fact that Sami Zayn, who supposedly got hit in the ribs with a baseball bat, injured his ribs. He gets cleared, right? Let's move past that. Whatever. Sami Zayn gets cleared. He's in this match. And out of nowhere, Sami, with injured ribs, suplexes Big Bronson Reed. He picks up Bronson Reed. Sami Zayn, 180 pounds, soaking wet. He suplexes Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed with injured ribs. I'm like, come on, sell something, make it believe. Like, I'm not even mad at the spot. It could happen if Sammy's healthy, whatever, I'll overlook it. But this man is injured. His ribs are messed up and he's doing more athletic stuff than he normally does without injured ribs. Come on. Like, where's the sense? Where's the logic? Anyhow, though, after this, Braun Breaker spears Sami Zayn for the win. He hits a super spear on Sami Zayn for the win, you know, where he hits the ropes twice and whatever and spears the I was done with this match like near the middle of it and the end was just stupid. But after the match ends, Braun Breaker spears Sami Zayn for the win. The Bronze started jumping Sami Zayn. I guess the group name for Seth Rollins' group is what? Seth and the Bronze? You know what? I'm gonna call them Seth and the Bronze. It's either Seth and Friends or Seth and the Bronze. I don't know which one I like more. Seth and the Bronze. Seth and Friends. I'll alternate, I guess. I don't know. But anyhow, after the match ends, the Bronze jumps Sami Zayn and Penta. And out of nowhere, Jey Uso with a steel chair to save Sami Zayn and Penta. And Jey alone, you know, Jey Uso, not the Big Show, not like Great Khali, not somebody huge, somebody super strong. No, Jey Uso comes out and he clears out both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I'm like, okay, this man could do that, but he lost to Gunther? You're telling me, like, come on. You're telling me Gunther is more dangerous than both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker combined? Come on. You're telling me Jey Uso clears out both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, powerhouses, monsters supposedly, with a steel chair. They couldn't gang up on him. They couldn't slam him, nothing. I'm like, where's the consistency? Where's the logic? But anyhow, though, Jey Uso comes out with a steel chair and he saves Sami Zayn and Penta and he clears out the Bronze, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And this moment happened just for the cheap pop. Just for the crowd to eat, just for the cheap pop, so people could be like, oh, this match was awesome. This match was amazing. I'm like, come on. I rolled my eyes. I'm like, this was not needed. Come on. This was just for the cheap pop, honestly. But anyhow, though, and that's how the show ended. That was your main event. That was, I'm like, I wasted my time watching this. And like, they even had the nerves to have a special start time too on top of it. This thing started at 6 p.m. my time, Eastern time. It started at 6 p.m. just to get this garbage, this nonsense. Oh my Lord. But anyhow, though, this episode for me was a solid 4 out of 10 at best, 4 out of 10 at best. We literally got 2 good matches, 0 good promos, and 0 good video packages, or 0 good backstage segments, and a mid-trash, atrocious main event match. This show, 4 out of 10 at best. I was over it. Like, after the Sheamus and Rusev match, I was over it. I'm like, man, nothing on this show made sense. Nothing was consistent. There was no logic, no consistency, nothing. This show treated the audience like they were just, I don't know, stupid babies. Like, they're just like, here, just eat this up. Don't ask for any explanations, any logic. Just eat it up. Whatever you see, that's what it is. Like the crowd had no common sense, nothing. The fans have no common sense. This is what this show treated this week specifically. This is what it treated the fans like. Like the fans had no common sense, no logic skills. I'm like, man, you're acting like babies are watching this stuff. You have grown adults, teenagers watching this stuff. They're smart enough to know when things make sense and when they don't. Give us something of substance on our TV. Jesus, give us something of substance on the show we like watching. Like, this show was atrocious. This show was bad, man. But anyhow, though, let me not trash it too much. Let me end the video before I go on a whole rant. But anyhow, thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening to me rant. Thank you for listening to me review this trash episode of Raw. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. And thank you for hearing me out. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. And like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm out.